Nicely done. That was awesome. Great. Ladies and gentlemen, Manuela Montesanti. That was awesome. Really so cool. Lots of... Yeah, well, we'll talk about that in a second. Before I start going there, I'd like to introduce my other co-host to this live stream, this Tech Talk, Hape, Hans-Peter Hinkel. Hello, Hape.
Hello, good evening, gents. Wow, Manuela, amazing.
Thank you, guys.
Applause.
Thank you.
Yeah, you see the buonasera a tutti.
Exactly.
Buonasera
Well, you're unbelievable, guys. Really, the best Italian pronouns in the world.
Grazie mille.
Wow. Wow.
No, that was, every time I hear someone play YC, because I play YC all the time, it's kind of my main gigging instrument. I'm always amazed at the different levels of sound that you can get out of it and the ability to change the sounds in real time. So amazing. I mean, you went... So what other, how many live sets did you use in that?
8 different live set. But basically, I have discovered the powerful. I have told it to Api before to start streaming. I have discovered the power of the FMX just in one knob.
Yeah.
Just in one knob. For example, let me show you. What I did for the first one. This is the GS electric piano from. This is a new sound from the new OS, right? And I started to play this piano like a pad. I have put inside it to dispatch the new chorus from GS also.
Yeah.
And I started to modulate the chord. And then I have selected the section A, and now I have the controller of my envelope generator. Okay?
Yep.
I have put inside the distortion. You remember Run Like Hell from the Pink Floyd? But it's not finished because I have put in the section B the other GS brass sounds, and I have controlled the same EG. Look this. That's the result. Look at the texture. I have called this live set the FM wall because I have a selection of the Italian organ. This is the sound come from the FMX also. And I have created this FM wall with the FM organ. It's amazing. It's just so fun.
So creative.
Yeah, exactly.
A few things. The FM organ is all, because you're using the F5. There's the F5.
Exactly.
I guess 4, 5, and 6 are the ones that have carrier modulator relationships.
Exactly.
So, and the fact that they've made it so you can see what you're doing, you can see the modulator, and you can see what you're.
Exactly. But I during my programming or my sound design, I need to be careful to the power of the volume.
Yeah.
The power of the dynamics. Because I start to think, okay, I need to go line, but this instrument is, come on, it's unbelievable. I have to put the low volume for each section, because the volume was in the dynamic was amazing. It's so huge, so fat.
Yeah,
it's incredible.
Absolutely. Well, and FM being, it's so expressive. it so responds to timbral changes with velocity.
Exactly. Yes.
It's amazing.
The expression, the measure of expressivity is by my finger.
Yeah.
By my finger. The sound become live. It's unbelievable, really.
Well, and another thing is that as you're playing, I watch you change things and stuff, and it's all done with the front panel. It's all done with manipulation of effects primarily,
exactly.
but then you also do have the EG and the filter knob. You do have the drawbar control and all the stuff, but there's never a point where...
So basically, in my backing tracks, I have just the drum and bass, and for play some notes inside to the feel of the drum feel. I've used the envelope generator control in the section B, for example. I have played this chord. When I've finished in C minor, okay, and then I change my layer.
Yeah.
Okay, that's or this is the second live set with the main theme. Look, the dynamic control. This is amazing.
That's great. I love the fact that you're playing, you're just going dup, 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 but you have the delay going tick, tick,
Exactly,
tick, tick,
yes.
so
Yeah. I've used the analog delay. No, the cross delay, simple cross delay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's just, it's great. So
Thank you very much.
These sounds, are these going to be available on Soundmondo?
Yes,
maybe?
of course.
Beautiful.
Yes. I will put all the sounds in a few days, maybe tomorrow.
That's great. Yeah.
Or maybe during that by night. Because in Italy are 10:20.
Yeah, I guess it's night for you guys.
But I'm going to sleep around the 3.5. I'm a musician, sorry.
Yeah, that's such a cool...
Thank you.
Yeah,
guys.
really remarkable sound and great playing as always, and great songs. And I love the changes that you play with the stuff in the thirds, those things.
Exactly. Wow.
I love
Thank
that.
you very
It's
much.
so great. So cool.
Thank you very much, Blake. Thank you, guys.
So I guess that's it. No, no, the thing. So what is this about today? We haven't even talked about what exactly it's about. So because I put special event and then we dropped the OS 2.0 just last night. So that's what we're talking about today is YC OS version 2.0. We brought Manuela on to play that amazing song up front. So cool. And really shows exactly why YC is so cool. It's truly a remarkably versatile, great sounding stage keyboard. The ability to have all of that power at your fingertips to make, truly unique, amazing sounds manipulating effects and stuff like that. It's totally cool. So, yeah, so what is YCOS version 2.0? Well, what did it do? It added new voices. So there's, and we'll talk about all this going forward. There's brand new voices, meaning the CFX2 is a brand new voice. There's a bunch of new there's 8 GS1 emulating voices. Because YC has an FM synthesizer on board, we can do a lot with emulating previous FM synthesizers like the GS1. Different engine, but the 8-operator FM engine in this instrument is capable of doing a pretty good simulation. But not only that, we also added the GS1 Ensemble Chorus effect. So we added that in, I believe, OS 3.0 on Montage M. So we brought it into the YC series as well. So the new GS1 Ensemble Chorus is in here. Manuela was using that. So cool. There's new live sets, 24 actually revoiced live sets that were revoiced by our counterparts in Scandinavia, by Yamaha there, and by real musicians that actually play the instrument, and went through and just revoiced the first 24 live sets. So there's just a lot more kind of intelligent choices. They change some things, and I'll play some of those. We'll play some of those as we go through this this live stream today. There's also seamless section switching, and which is very cool. Top A will show you that later. We already have seamless sound switching. Now you can do it within a live set between sections. USB MIDI controller connectivity via the USB 2 device port. Now we added that feature in CPOS while we brought it here as well. All that means is that you can connect a standard USB MIDI controller to the USB device port and select a section to play externally. It's great for 2 manual setups. We've already sort of had this for the traditional MIDI ports with the external keyboard feature in YC. Now we've extended that to the USB as well, which is very cool as well. And then we've doubled the number of live sets. We did that with CPOS. Now we've done it with YCOS. So now we have a total of, 300 and something? I think there's an additional 20 pages of 8, so it's 360 live set total, doubling the number, which is very, very nice. I certainly use the live sets a lot. So there you have it. And YCOS version 2.0, it's available right now at Yamaha.com, USA.Yamaha.com on my end, and then I guess it's Yamaha.Europe. Anyway, you people that live in Europe know what that is. So you can download it from our global websites right now. Very cool. So let's talk about what's new here. Well, first thing I want to show is CFX2. So we've added this in a few of our other products. Montage M has it. CP has it as well. Now YC has it as well. It's here too. So this is it right here. Manuela played it in the tune that you just heard him play. Excuse me. So what is the CFX2? So in 2022, Yamaha released a new version of the CFX Concert Grand. So we had that out, the first CFX, for about 20 years. And after about a decade, lots of pianists went through and checked out the first CFX and then brought up some ideas to change to make some improvements to the design. So what did they do? One of them is ARE, acoustic resonance enhancement, on the rim and back posts of the new CFX. So there's a little bit more note bloom, is what I like to say. In fact, this is CFX2 here. So here's CFX. And here's back to CFX2. So a different sound. And what that sound to me is, it's a little darker sound, although the CFX2 can get very bright with lots of, when you really play it. But I think the individual notes have a little bit more what I call bloom. There's just more resonance around the note. The CFX is more of a direct, fundamental is stronger in that. I find the CFX is great in a lot of times in live bands where I want to sit away from the mix or have my own space in a mix. So I like the CFX for that. But the CFX2 is wonderful for solo playing. Sorry, there's a little bit of forest fires north of me, so the air is a little strange here, so excuse me with the coughing. Anyway, so that's what I really hear in the new CFX2. I like it for solo playing a lot. It really captures the feel of the new CFX Concert Grand Piano. So that's brand new content that we've added to the YC series with the CFX2. So there you go. That's the first thing. The second thing is the VCM Ensemble Chorus. So I'll play a couple of the sounds in here. You saw VCM GS1 Ensemble Chorus, sorry. You saw Manuela playing with that earlier. I'll just play a couple of the sounds here. So this one I like to start. In fact, I have an article on YamahaSynth.com that's Blake's take. That is shows this new. I have like 8 to show off the 8 different sounds that they've added to YCOS. That I have demonstrations where it starts out like this, where there's no. Right now, there's no GS. All it is just that sound. And what Manuela was talking about before, just the amount of dynamic range on just the FM sound alone is amazing. But this is without the GS1. So in my audio demos, I play the sound without the GS effect on, and then halfway through, I turn it on. So you can really hear what it's doing. This is a great sounding chorus. And I'll tell you something, a great thing about being a product person is that I get these OSs before they come out, so I get to try them on gigs. And I was playing the electric piano, and immediately guys were like, what is that chorus? And it's just the chorus sound. I didn't really explain what it was about, but people really heard the sound of this chorus. It's a very unique chorus. And on the original GS1, it was actually an analog chorus that they added to it, and it was part of the character of that sound. It's what really set that FM synthesizer apart from all the other ones and made it a truly unique instrument, and that's why we brought it back first in Montage, now here in YC. I love this sound. So here's another sound I have here. Right now the GS is off. This is a GS brass sound. Turn it on with it. It's amazing just turning it on and hearing that bed come in. So there you go. That's the VCM GS1 chorus that we have added here. Just love it. Just love it. Now, I also talked about earlier, I'm going to bring Manuela here back in a second, but I want to briefly talk about these 24 new live sets. Now, they're not really new as much as they are revoiced. So they took the initial sounds from the first version, basically, version 1.0, right when YC came out, and they went through the first 24 live sets. And these I'm talking about some musicians, professional keyboard players in Sweden. There's a lot of them up there, I find. So really good players went through and checked out the sounds and just sort of revoiced them and made different decisions maybe about what was in keys B if it's off. So in this case, I brought up one here. This one's, so, you know, so the WR wide. I love this with the tremolo effect. Just a great sounding reed electric piano. But I want to know that when I turn this on, it's not going to be something weird. I want it to be maybe a nice. It's OB brass too, so it's a synthy kind of sound. But they did a wonderful job making it into a really nice pad sound that fits wonderful with this. That kind of a classic sound, but adding a modern take to it. It's just, that's nice. And what happens if I turn on the organ? Well, they give me just the F1 organ, which is all sine wave organ. But the drawbars are down a little bit, and they're also set up high by an octave here. This is thinking about what would make this sound even cooler, but not overwhelm the fact that it's an electric piano sound. What a great sound. And again, it's a revoiced live set. Now, when you download this, if you have a whole lot of live sets that you've saved, back up everything first. That's the first thing you need to do. Then install, and we say that in the download instructions, then install the OS with the new sounds in here. And then when you bring your stuff back in, bring them in from the backup file as page files. So you get an entire page, because we gave you extra live sets that are blank at the top. So you can put all your stuff at the top and put them there so that you can rebuild everything when you get it. It's sort of like going through and doing a nice spring cleaning on your YC when you update this instrument. You get new sounds, you get new effect, you get these 24 new live sets. Just back up first and then put your stuff, at the top. And then if you really want to have an editor, the Milas editor for YC will allow you to move things around a lot faster. So there are But that's what I did. I just put my stuff up in the top area. And then when you go into the menu, and I think it's in general, I can't remember where it's at the moment, but it's in here. Set it up so that you have your startup sound to be whatever live set is your go-to first live set. Mine is always CFX at the very top that I call Blake's Keys because I have stuff set up in my own area. But just to let you guys know that when you update it to get these sounds, you want these new sounds too. So don't just overwrite everything once you load it in. Load in your stuff as pages at the top and explore some of these new live sets. That is my recommendation. I'll play one more, and then I'm going to turn it over to Manuela here. But I'll play a couple more, actually. There's this one here, CFX Grand. So when I turn on B, it's off, but it gives you a totally usable pad. I turn on the organ. I get an H4 organ. But it doesn't overwhelm the piano sound. Another one, I love this one just because, I mean, I won't play this actual song, but you get the idea. So tape flutes. Again, these are totally usable sounds that I can use on any gig. Now, at this point, I'd like to bring Manuela back and have him play just a couple of these newer live sets that he loves from the brand new live sets, the 8 new live sets that use the new content. So, Manuela, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Great, Blake. Great explaining. Great planning. You're unbelievable.
No,
great harmony. No. Yes. Anyway, we're talking. We're talking about the live set. During my song, I have played the solo and the ending of the song with this beautiful sounds, the CFX too. And this live set is ready to switch on. These low strings. And this sounds, it's very cool because I don't like to use the dynamic control with the DFC7. Mm-hmm. I love to control the dynamic with my hands.
Yeah.
And this strings is unbelievable. Without the CP. I have just the sustain pedal connected. It's amazing. It's amazing.
That's the cinema one, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I love. What a great sound. Yeah.
Yeah. You're talking about the GS, and I love the sounds. All the sounds come from the GS for the dynamic control. If you want to play funk. Or you will play soft. All the sounds are completely ready. The G brass.
Yeah.
If you want to play diffusion, you know what I mean. I don't know how many time I have, but if you don't stop me, I could.
No, more playing is always good. That's always good, especially hearing you, man. You're such a great player. But it's exactly, and the way that those are voiced as well is that the main primary voice, like the piano. Although you switch to the strings, but when you bring the piano in, it never overwhelms that voice.
The connection problem.
What's that?
Can you repeat it because I don't?
Sorry.
No, can you repeat it because I've lost your connection.
Here's what can you hear me now?
I have lost the connection.
Oh, well, if he's lost my connection, I'll just explain what I was going to say.
Yeah, I have a lot. Exactly.
It's just when you play. In fact, if I turn this on, it never overwhelms. Here's the ones with the analog pad. But what Manuela did that I thought was very cool here is that he played super soft. And then brought that in. That was pretty nice. It's such a great instrument. And I'm sorry that he lost our connection, but I got so much love from that was amazing playing. Anyway, that's all I have on this part here. So again, if you want to hear some of these extra sounds, go to my Yamaha Synth.com article. It's just called Blake's Take OS version, YC OS version 2.0. So you can hear some of the stuff that's in there and hear the GS and, you know, different audio examples and stuff like that. So now I'm going to turn it over to Hape to talk about some of the other cool features that are added in YCOS version 2.0. Take it away, Hape.
Yeah, thanks, Blake. So what I'd like to start with is the new section switch mode. I created a live set here using also one of the new GSE piano, and I added a pad as a layer. And it sounds like this. And when I turn off the key B, it immediately stops. And this is the behavior as it was before the update to version 2.0. And it's also the default setting from the factory setting. But now we can change this. And I'd like to show you how. So I have to go to the menu. And whenever I demonstrate something on the menu of the keyboard series like CP or YC, I always like to show that we can select menus by using the wheel and then press enter to select a menu entry, but we also can use the live set buttons here to directly go into a sub menu. So I want to go for control panel, so I press the number 2 here, and I'm immediately in the sub menu control panel. And now I like to use the number 6, which is the new section switch mode. And this is, as mentioned, the current behavior or the previous behavior. It's called real time. And now I can change this to next key. I can access this. I have to say that this is a global setting, so it affects all live sets. And when I play now the same and turn off the section, you will hear that we have a seamless switching behavior within a live set, right? So now the pad stays until I press the next key. So when I play further with the key B switched off, it's only the piano, and I can bring in the pad again, of course. Or I can turn off the E-piano, whatever I like to. Can turn off both. And as long as I stay on my sustain pedal, the sound does not disappear. Yeah, that's the section switch mode. And now I move over to my second topic. Again, it's a global setting. And now I want to talk about the new capability of USB MIDI. So with the new update, the USB-A port or the USB to device port is able to accept or to listen to incoming MIDI from an external keyboard controller or from a different controller, whatever it is. And I have prepared a setup here with my Reface DX as an external keyboard. And first of all, I like to show an image here how this is connected. So here you can see on the right hand side the Reface DX. I used the USB-B port, which is the USB to host port, as the MIDI out from the DX, Reface DX, and the USB-A port as an incoming MIDI for the YC, which is the USB to device, which we regularly use to load or save our live sets to USB flash drives and so on and so forth, right? Now I change over to the next view so that you can see my rephased DX here. And I still have the same live set here. So whenever I play on, I can play the same on both keyboards right here, right? But of course, in most cases, we want to play different sounds on the keyboards. And I prepared the second live set here, which consists out of a pad and lead sound, the classic Mini. So currently, this is also layered, so both keyboards play or sound like the same, like, right? And now I want to show how to set the live set like that we can play both sounds on different keyboards. So in this case, I go to settings, and the menu for this setting is the external keyboard here. So I press number 2 to access this submenu external keyboard. And this, as you can see, it's available for all 3 sections, as the organ sections as well as both key sections. And I only used the key sections here, but this is storable per live set. So you can use different configurations per live set. And now I go for key A. You can see that this is set to external and internal, so this is what it behaves like. And now I turn this off, which means that the key A is only played from the keyboard of the YC. And then I go for, I press exit and use number 3 here to enter key B, and this I will set to external only. So now the key B is only played by the external keyboard. I can press settings to exit this, and now I can play my pad from the YC series, right? I can control it with my FC7 near the volume, and then I can play the lead sound from rephased DX. This only sends MIDI so far, so the volume is turned down. And that's the first example. But it doesn't stop there, because the stage keyboard, the Yamaha stage keyboards like the YC series as well as the CP series can work simultaneously with the USB MIDI port as well as the DIN MIDI port. And so you can connect a second MIDI controller, could be a second MIDI keyboard, but it could also be a second different controller, which I have here connected to the MIDI DIN, is a breath controller. And this is a breath controller from Tech Control from Sweden, and I connected it to the DIN MIDI port. I have to put it on without putting my glasses off. Oops, sorry. And I now created a third live set, which is basically the same live set like the second one, also a pad and the lead sound. But in this case, I will control the cutoff frequency, so the filter, with the breath controller. You can see it when I breathe that the filter here is moving. So this is done with the the CC control 30. So you can take a look into the data list of the YC series. You have all the CC data, which knob, which parameter reacts to which CC message. And I assigned the CC30 to this breath controller. And the breath controller has a small application which you can use to set to preset different things. And it can also be set to work in certain ranges, so that it does not uses the entire range from 0 up to 127, but in this case only a certain range which I preset right here, right? And yeah, then you can play like this with the breath controller, like this. Yeah, this is possible in using both MIDI ports, the DIN MIDI port, as well as the USB MIDI port simultaneously. If you have questions about this birth controller, I would say put it into the comment or in the chat here, and maybe I can answer them tomorrow or whenever, just in case. Yeah, that's it from my side, and I would say back to Blake, and thanks for your attention.
Great, that's very cool. I love, something that I like to point out there, when you set the external keyboard control, there's a little icon that shows up in the screen that says EX for whatever part is external control.
That's
I love,
correct. Yeah, I forgot.
Just so you have a little at-a-glance things. It also has the M for mono. When you had it for monophonic, you can always tell what you have in front of you. It was very, very clever that they did that. So
yeah,
very cool. I mean, these are really powerful new features. Yeah, you can see it in your overhead there.
Yeah.
The little EX thing.
And
yeah,
also the M for mono, right?
Yep. Yeah. Very cool. That's great. So there you have it. That's pretty much the OS 2.0 launch right there. The only thing I have next is just my little resources part, where I talk about resources that you have for Yamaha synthesizers, like YamahaSynth.com. If you have anything, any Yamaha keyboard that goes back quite a ways to Motif, XS, I think we go back that far. There's lots of articles up there. There's obviously lots of current articles. My Blake's take for YC OS version 2.0 is up there as well. Right before I did this Tech Talk, I met with my friend, my colleague over in CRD, which is our research and development part of Yamaha, and we go through all of the current Idea Scale posts. So Idea Scale is a social network for suggesting products, features. If you have a feature that you'd like to see in a Yamaha keyboard, please go up and put it up on Idea Scale. We go through every single post. I usually do it once a week with my colleague there, and anything that looks that we actually talk about and say, oh, this is a good idea, and we put it into an assessment phase where it goes to our team in Japan for them to look into the feasibility of adding features. And, one of the things on Idea Scale was, I wish you guys would put the CFX2 in the YC series. That showed up on Idea Scale. Now, guess what? Now it's in YC series with OS 2.0. So we definitely try our best to go through every single post and put the ones up there. So anyway, there you go, Idea Scale. By the way, all the links for everything is in the description of this video here. Soundmondo is our social sound sharing network. We were talking to Manuela. He's going to put his YC sounds that he played on this on that first tune that he played out front. So there you go. If you have a YC series, you'll get those as soon as he can get them up there. So there you go. Soundmondo, our social sound sharing site, supports all of our current keyboards for the most part. So there you go. SoundCloud. I just put all of my, I think there's 17 tracks that I put into my article on Yamaha Synth. There's also our podcast. 64 episodes of our Behind the Synth podcast are there, along with lots of sound demos for every OS update that we have. So that's our Yamaha Synth SoundCloud account. And then the music production guide. There's one coming. I think there's one that just dropped. There's more coming. And there'll be more information about that going forward as well. But definitely check out the music production guide. It goes back, 12 years, 11 or 12 years. Lots of great articles that Hape wrote in there. Really wonderful guide. That's, again, all of the links for this are in the description below. Yes, they are. And that's about it. I guess we can bring the whole crew back. And I think Manuela's back even now. I'll go back to my presenter only.
I'm back.
You can hear me?
I'm back. Yeah.
Hi,
Sorry,
Okay.
sorry, guys. I have lost my connection. I think.
Good
for
to see
a
you
second.
again.
Oh, boy, it happens.
Yeah.
It can happen with these. But, the internet's fairly new.
Just what?
No, it's not. But
Exactly.
you'd think it would work better than it does, but it works pretty well for the most
I
part.
started dreaming with your breath controller experiment, Happy. Unbelievable. Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Cool.
Unbelievable. Yeah.
Thank you.
That's very cool.
Because I have the same breath controller with me.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Cool. So you know what I'm talking about.
The best suggestion in the world I have received from you.
It's very cool. I remember there was another company that used to make breath controllers. What was the name of that company? Anyway, sorry.
MIDI Solution.
There. That's MIDI Solution. There's also another one other than that one.
Of course, you can use any breath controller that supports MIDI, but you have to use one that's capable of selecting different CC data and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, in order to use it with the stage keyboard series, at least.
Yeah, because you do have to have different controllers. Then I guess 2 is breath control, right?
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah, and if you only have that, then it doesn't work.
Right.
Beautiful.
So that's a very cool piece. I know about that. I've thought about getting one, and now I think I'm going to get one. I guess you guys both have them. What's that? Anyway, we'll talk later about it. But that's very cool. So that would be it for this edition of Tech Talk. Join us about a month from now for another Tech Talk, and you're not going to want to miss that one. That's a good one. This was a good one. So we'll have more information about that on YamahaSynth.com. on when that will be. But for this edition of Tech Talk, Season 6, I guess this is Episode 3, yes?
It is.
Thank you so much for watching. Thanks, guys. Always a pleasure talking and hanging and seeing your faces. You know it. You warm my heart, gentlemen.
Me too. Thank you.
Thanks to all our guests today.
Yeah, absolutely.
I saw a lot of known, like Joel, Christian, Tony.
Yeah, there's Tony. I love Tony pointing out they're all playing
yeah.
YC61s.
Oh, really?
So we were.
Yeah, cool. Gents, have a great evening. Have a great day.
You too.
You too.
See you. Have a good one.
See you.
See you. Bye-bye.